Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Musical, lyrical lingo. Every episode a new bingo. Laugh and sing, go with the flow. Tune in as the memories grow.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
And LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
We've had a wee bit of a scare, haven't we? But it's okay.
Gosh.
We're good.
It's fine. It's just theatre.
Theatre at its best when things don't work.
Anyway.
Here we are, another week.
Another week.
I need this week. I need a bit of therapy, to be honest. It's been a tough week.
Tough week.
First
There's
week
so
back
much
to
on.
school. Very busy boy. With rehearsals cranking up. Yeah, it's been a busy one. What about you?
Yeah, it's just busy. It's just hard whenever you've had some time off to go
It's
back
rubbish, isn't it? I don't want to have to work. I'm too young for retirement.
in. Yeah.
Even though I feel ancient and decrepit, I'm actually not.
It would just be nice if somebody wants to pay and sponsor us to do a podcast.
Is that my plan B? That would be great.
Wouldn't it?
If that would work out, that would be wonderful.
Just go and see theatre and...
Yeah. Talking about theatre, some theatre news.
Theatre news!
The winners of the 25th annual What's on Stage Awards have now been crowned as the curtain falls on their anniversary ceremony, which they held in the London Palladium. Now, why can't that be televised?
I don't
A
understand.
proper glittering affair with live performances and all the rest of it. If they can, televise the Olivier's, why can't they televise the What's on Stage Awards?
Don't know.
It's very annoying. Anyway, Andrew Lloyd Webber comes out trumps once again.
Oh!
Yeah. His acclaimed revival of Starlight Express, which opened in the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre last summer, scooped an impressive 7 awards.
What?
I know, becoming the big winner of the night. Coincidentally, it equalled the tally of another of Andrew Lloyd Webber's revivals, Sunset Boulevard, who also took home 7 trophies at last year's ceremony.
Oh, he's
2 years in a row.
having a revival.
Absolute heyday, eh? Alongside Best Musical Revival, Starlight also triumphed in the categories of Best Professional Debut for Jevan Braich.
Oh.
I think he plays Rusty
Oh,
in the new
right,
revival.
okay.
I'm so sorry if I've announced that name wrong. Best set design, which kind of makes sense. Best costume design, best lighting design, best video design, and finally the newly introduced category of best wigs, hair, and makeup design. There you go. Who knew you needed a hair, makeup, and wigs category? Imelda Staunton, my mate, added another What's on Stage award to her mantelpiece by taking home Best Performer in a Musical for Hello Dolly, following her wins for Sweeney Todd in 2013 and Gypsy in 2016. The woman can do no wrong.
No, she can't.
And then last year's co-host Melanie Labari took home Best Supporting Performer in a Musical for Hadestown, which also won Best Musical Direction and Supervision. So there you go.
Wow.
That's What's on Stage. There was also the coveted Best New Musical and Best New Musical went to Mean Girls.
Oh, yes, I
So
see
well
that.
done, Zoe.
Well done.
While Oliver, which just sounds amazing at the moment in the West.
And it's been extended?
Yeah, it just seems to be class. It's currently in the West End's Gielgud Theatre, but it took home the Best National Production thanks to its Chichester Festival Theatre run. So there you go.
Yeah, and you mentioned Hadestown there, and just a little shout out to our friend, who this is what this podcast is all about, is that we are hopefully introducing you to new musicals and also like you're getting to experience and learn and all of that stuff. So one of our friends, Richard, had never experienced Hadestown until listening to the podcast.
Oh,
then decided, I'm going to go and listen to it.
Yeah.
And then he got to go and see like Rachel Tucker in it a couple of weeks ago,
amazing.
and then the original cast. And he's just said it's so funny that if he hadn't listened to the podcast, he wouldn't have.
Isn't that lovely?
So isn't that nice that our podcast is definitely introducing new people to musicals?
Yeah, that's so lovely. That's brilliant. I do love Hadestown, I have to say. I would love to see it again. Something Rotten in concert also walked away with the What's on Stage for Best Concert Event.
Hopefully that means that they'll do a production soon.
Please. And then I got all excited talking about concert version because they announced the musical adaptation of Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame will be having its professional UK premiere. I went crazy because I thought it was fully fledged production, and then read with a concert performance this summer. And I went, well, it's better than nothing, isn't it? It's better than nothing. And as you said about Something Rotten, hopefully this will mean a wee possible fully stage production of Hunchback at some point.
They did 2 nights, didn't they? Whenever we were over, we just didn't get a chance to see it.
It was exactly when we were there. That's it.
It was sold out.
Yeah.
And I think it sold out like quite quickly.
Yeah,
so
it did.
You know, there's definitely a demand for it.
That's it. So, director Jonathan Boyle will bring the musical stage concert of it to the Prince Edward Theatre on Sunday the 17th of August at 3 p.m. and then 7:30.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Last week you had some really exciting theatre news, you mentioned about the Hollywood Bowl doing Jesus Christ Superstar.
And literally I only read what you're about to say as I was coming in here tonight.
Did you?
Yeah.
That was only announced yesterday, so...
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so what are you talking about?
Well, who's playing Jesus?
Cynthia Erivo.
Amazing.
What? But like what? Like, I don't get it.
I'm a bit... but class.
I mean, she'll be amazing. But I'm just going, I don't quite understand. Are they changing the story?
I don't know.
Who knows? Listen, it's very exciting for her. Yeah. She'll be amazing. She'll sound incredible. She's also been announced as host of this year's Tonys.
I mean, her career's going up.
I tell you, the world is her oyster at the moment. Oh, to be Cynthia Erivo, eh? Good for her. She's worked hard for it. She deserves everything that comes her way.
Absolutely. But yeah, isn't that exciting? You're so on trend with the theatre news.
I'm so with it this year with the theatre news, Lauren. What can I say? Anyway, what are we talking about? What musical are we talking about this week? And why are we talking about this one?
So, yeah, season 3 already has been like a lot of old time musicals. And then we did our love episode. This week we are doing the Prom.
Yeah, we're bringing it bang up to date. Now, where did you pluck this little gem from, Lauren?
I love how you've said that. So
this was definitely your idea.
This 100% was my idea, because when this episode goes out, hopefully, when this episode goes out, it will have been 20 years since your and my formal.
Oh my goodness, I feel so
20 years. That's 2
old.
zeros.
I feel so old.
So a great opportunity to share photographs from our formal.
I know, and isn't it funny how is that what your plan all along? Oh, I look terrible.
You don't.
Do I not? Are you sure? I tell you who didn't look terrible was my prom date.
Yes.
Lovely Molly Logan, who, again, it's weird how these things happen, but today, on the day of recording, she's just had her second baba.
I know.
So congratulations to the fam.
The Flynn family.
Yeah. The baby's not mine, by the way, just in case listeners are wondering. Oh, prom date, just a little bit, not mine.
No, and it's lovely. We are in the room that we met and had a little bit of bubbles before.
That's right, we came here before we went.
Yeah, I know.
Look at us now, old and decrepit.
Isn't that crazy? Who would have thought 20 years later we would be in this room recording a musical theatre podcast?
I know. Listen,
What?
life plays crazy tricks.
Did you think that we'd still be friends 20 years
Yeah.
later? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I knew
so love
I'd
that
always be
answer.
friends with you.
I
Yeah.
love that answer.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I know, but it's nice to hear.
I wouldn't be someone who has lots of friends, but the friends I have, I know are friends for life. So, and I'm very comfortable in that fact. So,
100% true. So yeah.
yes, some girl.
So our prom was a formal.
Yeah, yeah. So we ain't American. We don't call them prom. We call them a formal, school formal.
Formals. It was quite strict, wasn't it?
Oh, listen, it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
I mean, you were head boy, so you probably were like.
Do you know, I think because yeah, exactly. You're on the organising committee. By the time the blooming event came, I was glad it was here and it was over. To be honest, not having to date. Like, who puts like 16-year-olds in
16, we were 17 and
17 and 18-year-olds in charge of having to organise some big event like a formal or a prom? Far too young.
And can you remember where we had ours?
Not at all.
Do you not?
Is it? I can't know.
The Galgorm in
Galgorm. There you go.
Ballymena.
I know. Listen,
And we
as I said, who would
went to
let
school in
17 and
Bangor.
18-year-olds organise a formal?
Like, why did we go there?
I think because it was the cheapest.
But like, it couldn't have been by the time you took in buses, coaches and all.
If you've brought me along just to slabber at me for being part of the organising committee, then I'm going to go now.
No, and it was actually a really fun night. Do you remember like the food choices and all?
I remember nothing about it. And why would you remember? Like, why do you remember this stuff?
It's really funny. So on my key rings, from my keys, my house keys, I have a little key ring, which we obviously did lots of fundraising for.
Well, no wonder, because we had to pay for a bus to go to Ballymena.
So we sold these little key rings. I say I was not part of the committee at all. But that's how I know the date. It was like, anyway. And I still have that on my keys because obviously now I'm back in the house that I was living in.
That's really cute. I don't know where my key ring is.
And then there was awards given out that night.
Yeah, do you remember what you got?
I think I got drama
Queen,
or
you so
something.
did. And I stand by that one.
Out of
What
the
did I
whole
get?
school. Out of the whole school.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I get?
I don't know. Probably best head boy ever.
Well, I was, but I don't think we give out awards for that. Because that would be the most sad award you could ever get at a prom. Anyway, let's talk about the musical, something a lot more joyous. The band was good from what I can remember.
I can't even remember the band.
Oh, you remember what you ate, but
Well,
you don't remember the
the
band.
reason I remember what I ate because the starter was melon, and if you know me, you know I will not touch melon. The only time I ever touch melon is to cut it up for my children, and even then I'm gagging because I hate the smell of it. So I had to go to our teacher at the time, who was really scary, and say, "I'm really sorry, but I won't eat the melon."
I won't eat the melon.
And I knew what it was. I was vegetarian at the time, and whatever the starter was,
One of your many fads.
one of my many fads.
Nothing against vegetarians. I don't mean that by that comment. I just mean that Lauren went through experiencing or living life as in a different way every fortnight. So she had a fortnight of being a vegetarian, a fortnight of being vegan, a fortnight of like being an emo and dyeing her hair black and wearing really dark makeup, a fortnight of being a thespian where she came with her beret to school, and like honest, I'm not even making these up, like that all happened.
And you were just being the best head boy ever.
I just was I didn't change from one week to the next, to be
I was
honest.
trying to find myself, okay?
Yeah, it took you a bloody long time. Anyway.
Anyway, it's something I wouldn't have. And then they said, "Oh, you can have melon." And I went, "No, I can't touch melon." So they made something special for me. I was the only
Of course
person.
they did.
I was the only person. I think actually there was something that I was allergic to as well.
No doubt.
There was a whole big drama about the food. That's
No,
why I
and you're
remember.
wondering why you got biggest drama queen. at the awards.
Okay.
I think you've proved
I've proven my point.
your point. Yeah. Well,
Okay. Well,
the
anyway,
Prom,
the
the
musical.
musical with music by Matthew Sklar, who we've talked about on the pod before.
Yeah.
He wrote the music for Elf. He's also done The Wedding Singer, which he won a Tony for best score.
Yeah.
And the lyrics of the Prom are by Chad
Beguelin.
Beguelin. Well done, you. Book is by Bob Martin, and this was quite interesting because I don't often do this sometimes for the pod, but I did this time round. Look these people up just to see what else they'd done. Bob Martin was the man in the chair in The Drowsy Chaperone, which he co-wrote as well. I didn't know enough about Bob Martin, but I actually think I should learn a wee bit more about him because he's clearly very talented, because I love The Man in the Chair. I love The Drowsy Chaperone. So he wrote that, starred in it, and he also wrote The Prom. So well done him, alongside
I don't
that one.
Be able to say it again.
It's based on an original concept by Jack Vertel.
Yeah. You did that really well.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Musical directed and choreographed by Casey Nicolau. Tells the story of an Indiana high schooler barred from bringing her girlfriend to the prom and the group of eccentric Broadway folk who infiltrate the town in an earnest, misguided attempt to fight for the injustice of the main character, who is a lesbian, and her partner. Yeah, the musical had a tryout at the Alliance Theatre in Atlanta, Georgia in 2016, and then premiered on Broadway in the Long Acre Theatre. Great name, I think, for a theatre.
That is a good name.
Yeah, in October 2018.
Yeah, 310 performances.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount, but I mean, 310. Film adaptation took place in 2020. We'll maybe talk about that. And there was a
starring Meryl Streep, no less, and James Corden.
And lots of others.
Lots of others. Now, interestingly, produced and directed by Ryan Murphy, who I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a US tour in 2021, and that's kind of it. A lot. I always find it a bit odd whenever smaller musicals get a film adaptation or have a buzz around it, but actually it doesn't do great in Broadway. It's just interesting what direction sometimes
it is sometimes interesting what musicals are picked up for, filming or movie purposes. It is really interesting. What was also interesting, I thought, was they had a Switzerland production. Not somewhere that you would think would lift a musical like The Prom. In the Lee Theatre, Emmen. They produced a version of the musical in Swiss German, and instead of Edgewater, Indiana, where The Prom is set, the musical was set in Lucerne, hinterland. I presume some Swiss.
Swiss listeners, so
I'm so sorry if you're listening from Switzerland and I'm butchering all of your places. Also, the 4 actors in the Swiss production weren't from Broadway. They were from the German musical hub Hamburg.
Yeah, I love that little fact.
Yeah, just quite bizarre. A Switzerland production? Yeah. Okay. Prom was the first musical of the 2018 and 19 Broadway season to be named a New York Times Critics' Pick. They said, such a joyful hoot. With its kinetic dancing and belting anthems, it makes you believe in musical comedy again. That's quite a powerful quote, isn't it? The Variety said, with a tuneful score, playful book and performances that remind you what Broadway heart and...
You all right there?
Chutzpah is all about. I don't know. I didn't write it. The Variety did. CHUTZPAH.
Yeah.
And then the Times a Time Out magazine, like that one, gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's cheering to see a musical comedy that engages with modern questions.
Yeah, and I had David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter called the show one-part satire packed with delicious theatrical in-jokes delivered with, oh no, I can't read my own writing. Oh my goodness, by game stage veterans playing caricatures of themselves. And he goes on to say, the show has enough humour and heart to paper over the show.
Yeah.
Which I think was a really key line.
Yeah.
So is it something that's going to be celebrated in 40 years' time?
No.
Is it get on your feet, clap, laugh, forget your troubles type of musical theatre?
Feel good.
Feel good, 100%.
And you see when it's released to the Amdrams, they will have an absolute ball.
Yeah.
Putting it on.
I know it's quite popular in America, like high schools and stuff, and it definitely leads itself to that.
1000%, yeah.
It is fun. The music's great. Even just listening to...
Listen, I adore the music, and I would also... I'm too old now, but if it had come earlier, I would love to have got my hands on the Prom and choreographed it, because the music is so catchy and it's fun. It's a fun show. Yeah. Obviously, it's got a serious message behind it, but it's done in that kind of fun way. It was nominated for 7 Tony Awards and won none, but did win the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Musical. So, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
One of the first things I learnt in my music lyrical lingo was just its background and what it's based on.
Same. I think I wasn't aware that it was a real life
exactly.
story.
I was exactly the same. In 2010, Constance McMillan was a senior at Itawamba Agricultural High School.
In Mississippi?
In Fulton, Mississippi. And she had planned to bring her girlfriend to their senior prom and wear a tuxedo. And in response was banned from attending by the school board. McMillan challenged the board's decisions. In response, the board decided to entirely cancel that year's senior prom. McMillan sued her school district, good for her. And the federal court found the Itawamba School District guilty of violating Macmillan's First Amendment rights. However, the judge did not force the school district to reinstate the prom. The board did eventually allow Macmillan to attend prom, but the event was held at a local country club was attended by only 7 students. Yeah. Local parents quietly had organised a separate prom for the rest of the students. Celebrities such as Green Day, Kat Cora and Lance Bass rallied together via social media to show their support for Macmillan and agreed to help sponsor a second chance prom where Macmillan and her girlfriend could attend without homophobic backlash. And that is basically the plot of the musical, just set in a different place with different character names, but that is literally it, and word for word, isn't it?
For Broadway actors instead of a couple of
celebrities.
And Lance Bass is from NSYNC, the band then, but like literally a little connection. He used to go out with Danielle Fishel, who played Topanga in Boy Meets World, which was a show I love, and I listened to their podcast, Pod Meets World, but it was at her prom where he admitted to her that I am gay.
Oh, cute.
So I think then whenever he came up with this story, he was like, I need to support somebody. I just like that.
It's just so crap that things like that happen. Like, I love that children of that age are so comfortable to want to go to prom with their partner, regardless of, their sexual orientation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just crap.
I know. And I know nowadays, like, a lot of schools cut down on allowing outsiders into your formal or your prom. And that's a bit sucky sometimes, because if you maybe do have somebody, like even just a friend or like a cousin or whatever you want to bring, but you've got to kind of like keep it, there's maybe too many rules or something on it, but So
I do love the musical though, because obviously that's a really serious story, but then you throw in these 4 Broadway legends two of which have just opened a brand new musical, Eleanor Roosevelt, on Broadway, and it's clearly crap.
Yeah, it's opened and closed.
It's opened and closed. You know what I mean? But they are like comic strip characters of Broadway stars.
Like
you know what I mean? They
Rooney
take
said,
the mick.
They're just caricatures.
Absolutely hilarious.
They're what if you, as a non-musical theatre lover, would think everybody is like, and it's really over the top, and it's
totally
lovey, and it's, you know, all about me, and it is. That's what makes this a really fun show. Is
really
those characters.
fun, really fun, absolutely really fun.
One of the guys who played the original Trent, Christopher Sieber, is that right? So he was. I can never say this name right, and my kids are going to laugh. Lord
Farquaad?
I call him Far Cry, right?
Farquaad.
Just never
Farquaad.
get to that name. In Shrek.
Yeah.
He is currently in Death Becomes Her.
Yes, I cannot wait for the full cast recording to be. Have you heard
I've heard the
3 or 4
songs,
aren't they amazing?
Amazing. He's in that. He's in a couple of TV shows, again, that I watch. I'm a massive TV fan anyway. But our lovely friends, the Shamrock Tenors, were on a cruise with him.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I'm so jealous of our friends, the Shamrock Tenors.
Yeah, so who are away having a lovely time on their North America tour at the minute. So go boys. But yeah, isn't they got to sing with him? Isn't that class?
That they got to sing with him?
Yeah.
How did I miss? Is this on their socials and stuff?
No, it's just insider
information.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, so basically they hear about this story about this high school teen who's been refused to, she's not allowed to bring her girlfriend, and they're like, we have to do something. Yeah. It is our responsibility to, and also it might not look so bad.
Yeah.
For us to be seen doing it, right?
This is a very selfish
act.
Oh
my goodness, so selfish. Such a selfish act. So you've got Barry, one of the Broadway legends, and in the numbers called Changing Lives, he's saying, the first review is in the New Jersey Star Ledger. It says we're a hit. So they're talking about their new musical that's opened. However, the subtext of that is that though the Star Ledger once was successful, it started to lose money and is now not doing very well. So perhaps this line alludes to the fact that the review they got from this paper isn't actually quite worth the paper it's written on and isn't quite as big a deal as they're making it out to be. Which, I didn't realise that when I'm hearing it, but knowing that just makes it even more hilarious and ridiculous.
It's almost
they're
like
quoting from a paper that's basically...
and they're clasping at straws.
Totally
they're just going, oh, look, this one says we're a hit, so we have to be a hit.
And they're talking about... we'll be able to do Eleanor Roosevelt too. Like a sequel to... Yeah. And then there's a reprise to that. Do you have anything in Changing Lives?
No, just in Changing Lives.
But in the reprise, is it the one I've got? We're going down to where the necks are red and the lack of dentistry thrives.
No, but how rude.
I know. So they're talking about going to...
Indiana.
And they've just used several stereotypical... about rural Midwestern Republican Americans in this song. Yeah. And it shows that these actors are already going into a situation where their minds already, with their minds already made up. Yeah. And in some way, the people at Edgewater already have their minds made up about Emma. Yeah. In the very same way.
True. It says you don't got to have a PhD in psych to know that people
kowtow
to the folks in the biz. So, which means to show deep respect by kneeling and bowing so that your head touches the ground. I don't think I could do that.
Not anymore. I couldn't. I was able to do it once upon a time when we did Joseph and we were singing grovel, 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 grovel. Our heads had to touch the ground in that number. No,
definitely couldn't do that.
But it's one of my favourite lines in this musical in Changing Lives Reprise, where they're going, we're gonna march until this town looks like the end of Act 1 of Les Mis.
Love it.
And obviously, because I'm involved in Les Mis at the moment, Act 1 Les Mis ends with One Day More, a song that has everyone preparing for a political uprising.
Love
and
it.
it's like, okay, not quite the same thing, but love that you think it is. You wonderful Broadway, self-indulgent folk.
Yeah, I love
Bless
it.
them.
I love it.
Just Breathe. Lovely song.
I adore that song, and even that where she just goes and she talks about herself, and then she says, Emma, whenever this was coming out, I was actually working with a girl whose name was but I was just singing those lines, and she was like, you calling me? And I was like, oh no, I'm singing a song.
I love that. You do your research and work. Amazing.
So yeah, it was funny.
So what do you have any from
No, I
Just
don't
Breathe?
have any. I know I have nothing from Just Breathe.
Well, Emma's singing to herself, like pep talk, and she says, note to self, don't be gay in Indiana. Big heads up, that's a really stupid plan. Just so folk know, Indiana is kind of infamous for its anti-LGBT policies that occurred under the governor, Mike Pence. Indiana is a fairly conservative state when it comes to LGBT Q plus acceptance. Same marriage wasn't recognised until the 6th of October 2014, 4 years before this musical debut.
But 4 years after the real case took place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as of 2023, sexual orientation and gender identity still not included in Indiana's non-discrimination laws.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. It's not, it won't be high school without a test.
Yes.
She sings, what a clever line that is, like, because high school is a test.
Every single moment.
A clever dual usage of that word test, referencing the fact that still young people, the only thing they should be worried about in high school, the tests or the exam papers that they're going to sit.
Yeah.
Yet that's not ever the biggest test, is it?
Yeah.
Bless. She says, leave today, pray the Greyhound isn't full. I didn't realise that the Greyhound is that national bus company with lower fares.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she sings, just breathe, Emma, picture a beach with golden sand. Yeah.
Of course.
Just breathe, Emma, picture a Xanax in your hand. Now you're good because you know your American drugs, don't you?
Yeah.
But I was like, Xanax, there is another, I literally said to myself, there's another American drug I have no idea about, but Lauren will know.
Yeah.
Xanax medication typically used to treat anxiety or panic disorders.
Yeah,
is that
100%.
fair?
Yeah, we are prescribed it over here, but the difference, the difference with Americans versus us is we don't always know the name, as in like the brand name of things.
Okay.
But yeah, Xanax is.
Oh, so you can get Xanax here, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, here, that's good to know with the production coming up soon.
Yeah. So,
what's your next musical lyrical lingo then?
So in You Happened, where the prom is coming up, and it's a big thing in America where
massive.
your prom is massive, but asking your prom date out is a big thing.
Yeah.
So the typical jocks are asking like the popular kids who used to be friends with Emma but have kind of turned their backs
as they
on
do.
her. Yeah. And
sorry, it's a bit of post trauma coming out.
And so this is happening. They are making their proposal like, will you be my prom date? So it just says, since JV football. So football, obviously in America, is American football, not soccer, like we would know here. But JV stands for junior varsity. Which is younger than the school's varsity team. So that's like your high team. So in simple terms, Timothy.
Please, very simple.
So do you know like the Schools Cup rugby?
Okay, that yes, fair enough.
So that would be, the school's cup team, your main 15,
the really
and then you've
good
got
ones.
your medallions, who are the ones in fourth year, the younger ones
That are being prepared to take over.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So see how I had to simplify that
really
for
good.
you?
Interestingly, we have people in at the moment in school taking our kids for American football. So I'm all over it. Hup!
All over it.
They have to bend over and go, hup! And then you throw the ball through their legs and the person behind them has to catch it. It's very interesting.
There has been a surge in American football in Belfast in the last number of years.
It's a good, it seems like a good game.
Yeah,
so
actually,
our kids are enjoying it anyway.
The Super Bowl was on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't watch it, but I'm sure it was wonderful.
No, but my dad did.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was one of his things. Whenever he retired, he was going to stay up and watch it.
Good for him.
I know, go him.
It's All About Me. Now, that's a great title for a song, isn't it?
It's all about you.
Me. And this is probably my favourite character in the whole show, Dee Dee, who is the biggest, Broadway diva ever. And I adore her.
Okay, so on that, but also I don't mean it this way. The only person I want to see playing that role is Alison Harding.
Oh my God, she'd be an amazing Dee Dee. Oh, I hope she's listening. She would be brilliant. And she'd be so funny too.
I want somebody to do the prom, and I want them to not look for anybody else and just have her. Wouldn't she be
so funny?
Hilariously
so funny, but dry enough to make it even funnier.
Better than Meryl.
Yeah. Oh, better than Meryl for sure. Yeah.
So can somebody please do that?
And if you don't know who we're talking about, go back to last season and listen to our interview with Alison Harding and Jennifer Rooney.
Yeah.
Friends of the pod. Good for them. Oh, she'd be brilliant. Well, Dee Dee, the Broadway star, sings. I read 3/4 of the news story and knew I had to come.
I love
and unless I'm doing the miracle worker, I won't play blind, deaf, and dumb. There you go. I'm being Dee Dee. I could be Alison's understudy.
Okay.
So first of all, hilarious that she only read 3/4 of the story because she couldn't be bothered reading the full story. But I didn't realize the meaning behind playing the miracle worker. That play by Helen Keller, who. A play about Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf, and about her blind tutor, Anne Sullivan, who basically worked out a way of communicating really an amazing story. But then that obviously I won't play blind, deaf and dumb makes so much more sense too when you know what the miracle worker is. Did
one
you
of my
know
favorite...
Have you seen
I do.
Worker?
And I've done a little bit of background work on that, just even how that has helped autism training and stuff. Yeah. So
is there a film of the miracle worker as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to watch that sometime.
One of my favourite lines in that is here to help, and everybody goes, Emma, and she's like, Emma. She doesn't even,
because she's here to help herself.
Yeah, she's here to help herself. But I mean, it just reiterates that she is only there for herself, and she needed to get out of town because the reviews were so awful. But it's just so cleverly in the song that sort of who am I here to help?
It's Emma, because she forgets her name as well. Yes, I think the lyrics for Dee Dee's songs in particular are really clever. I love the line where she sings, I understand furious town folk, I did Beauty and the Beast. Referring to Beauty and the Beast song, the mob song, where the townsfolk gathered together in anger and fear to storm the Beast's castle. I love even her references within the song or musical theatre references. I know how I'll deal with this situation.
Yeah, I love it.
Very good. Tonight Belongs to You.
Love that.
It's great, isn't it? I love this line. Life's no dress rehearsal, so why not make some waves before it's through? Go big or you've blown it. That's
I love
perfect, sentiments of how to live life, isn't it?
Especially when you're in school as well. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoy it.
Amazing. However, add on top of that, prom,
Yeah.
getting ready for prom, they're all hair puns.
Oh, I never noticed.
I know. So Emma has like short curly hair and she doesn't know what to do with
Yeah.
it. Like she makes comment
Yeah.
of, but what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And Barry tells her to either make it wavy, big and long or blow it out.
Yeah.
So clever,
I
right?
didn't even
I
get
know.
that. Go you for
Yeah.
picking up on that.
Try, he says, I love Barry. Try to bat your eye, smize each time you grin. And
love
that just
smizing.
shows how much it's brought the musical
Yeah.
up to date. Like it's a real modern musical. The fact they're using, terms like smize,
Yeah.
which is to smile with your eyes.
Absolutely.
First popularized by Tara Banks in America's Next Top Model.
That's how I know it.
Me too,
Like,
actually.
have you ever gone back and watched some of America's Next Top Model?
Because it's so not acceptable.
It is
now?
not
Yeah.
acceptable. It is
I thought that.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's only like, not like me and Caitlin, my sister, were obsessed with that and watched it all the time. Actually, her nickname that she gives me comes from that. But anyway, I'm watching back now, like wee snippets on TikTok, and you're like, why are you speaking to her? And they're like, we had to do a lot of work on this
I
photo
know.
because your stomach. And you're like, she's stick
Awful.
thin.
It's awful. I just remember that bit where she lost it at one of the contestants.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I was rooting for you.
It's like so melodramatic.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Not required.
No. But yes, smize. And like, then from then I was like, I know how to smize.
Yeah. Do you also know how to give it some zazz?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So this is musical lyrical lingo, is that my daughter loves the prom too. But she didn't know who Fosse was.
What?
So this musical introduced her. So that's a musical lyrical lingo.
So
Is
the
that-
musical introduced her to Bob Fosse. I hope you educated her in the
Yes.
world of Bob Fosse.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
so
In
glad.
fact, actually, my husband was able to do more because that time, 20 years ago, he once watched a documentary on Bob Fosse and then quotes it all the time now.
Amazing. Good for him.
I know, it was whenever we
Aaron.
were first starting to go out and he was like, oh, I think I
Trying to
better
impress you.
like learn something to do with
Yeah,
this musical
yeah.
theatre thing. How he discovered a Bob Fosse documentary, I have no idea. But
And I say it every time. I think I probably said it on the podcast. I'll say it again. Every time you're talking about Bob Fosse and you want to learn a bit more, watch Fosse stroke Verdon.
yeah.
The like dramatize it.
Amazing.
You learn so much from it, don't you, about his life?
Yeah.
Well, in Zaz,
Yeah. Give it some zest.
I can't remember the character's name. It's the
I'll
fourth
get it.
Broadway like star that comes to save Emma or to help Emma in her cause.
And I always feel a bit sorry for her.
Oh, she
because-
so doesn't get as much as the other three.
No, and also
One
like
number.
she's but I think that's intentional because
Yeah.
she's always just missed out on like the
Yeah.
lead role.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find the characters.
So she sings Zaz is a style, Zaz is style plus confidence. It means it may seem corny and kitsch, as in KITSCH. Did you know what kitsch means?
No, go for it.
It means something that is ironically appreciated but is considered in poor taste.
Oh,
Now, I might not be saying that right. Am I saying that
no,
right?
I think you are.
Yeah.
I'm just still trying to find this. So we've got Emma, we've got Dee Dee, we've got Barry. Alyssa Green, Trent, Angie Dickinson.
Is it Angie?
Yeah, it must be Angie. Yeah, Nicole Kidman played her. Yeah, it's Angie.
Yeah, Angie. Yeah, so there you go. She sings Give It Some Zazz,
Give some zest.
which is so based around Bob Fosse and like Chicago and all that
because
jazzy kind of feel,
She
isn't
does
it?
mention that though,
Yes,
doesn't
she
it?
does.
That she's like the third understudy or something.
Yes, yeah. I love Trent's song as well. Love thy neighbour.
It's Godspell. But then,
But they reference Godspell in it. It's
but
so
also
class.
they're only able to go cross country to Indiana because he's in a touring production
Of
of
Godspell.
Godspell.
Yeah.
Because that song as well, and it's like, and with the supporting cast of Godspell, like
Yeah.
when they're at the trucker event is so funny. But
And then
Love Thy Neighbour is just a Godspell song. I was like, you could literally
1000%.
pluck that out and put that in Godspell. Nobody would know that it
And I
wasn't
think
from there.
that, you know, the fact that it is the touring company of Godspell and their touring bus, and then this number, it all is done on purpose. He sings, she can't cherry pick the Bible, choosing which parts you want to believe. Because obviously it's all about they're against, you know, Emma and her girlfriend, and a lot of homophobic people claim homosexuality is against God and the Bible, although there are plenty of other things that are considered bad in the Bible that are perfectly acceptable today, like tattoos. And he names and shames every single one of them. He's like, that tattoo would be taboo because it says that. I'm not going to give you all the Bible references. You can go and check them out for yourself. Same for virginity. It goes, Shelby, you look sweet to me, but if it has to come to be, you've lost your virginity, we'll stone you and your family as well.
Yeah. And then if you've got a
stepdad or divorce, but the scripture does imply that your mom will have to die.
Love it. Love it all. But I love that song because, you know, that Love Thy Neighbour, whenever you look at the Bible as well, you know, that is the main message that Jesus
100%.
says. It's just love one another.
And that's what Trent says too. There's one rule that trumps them all. Love thy neighbour, love thy neighbour. Yeah.
There's something else I was going to say about that song, but I do actually like how it's done in the film because it's quite like
it's in the mall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the mall. It's just fun and everything. But because I mean, it also says in the Bible about like you need to wear hats to Sunday. You know, go to church on Sunday. But nobody does that anymore.
Do they take their hats off in church? Like they should do in the theatre.
It should do in the theatre. I know we had some people were horrified at that.
Did we? Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, I have been so busy I haven't looked near the socials. I'm so sorry, folks. But Lauren's all over it, you see. All over You're the social boss.
The song I was talking about earlier where the Godspell cast come out and they also come out in Love Thy Neighbour is the acceptance song. Accept
one another.
It's so funny. And I think that's what you've got to take from this musical. It's so tongue-in-cheek.
So tongue-in-cheek.
And you need to go in being like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you will love it.
And I love musicals like this where it is so tongue-in-cheek and so ridiculous, and then it'll like stomach punch you with a real message or a reminder of what they're actually fighting for. Yeah. Do you know, I love that kind of juxtaposition. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it's all, and then boom, boom. Actually, this is really serious and it's not okay.
No.
Yeah.
I did like in the film how the song Alyssa Green was not where it is in the stage show. It's sort of like later on because I feel like that gave you a better understanding of Alyssa and why she wasn't as open to, you know, coming out and saying that she was wanting to go to prom with Emma, because for those that aren't aware of it, Emma is wanting to bring her girlfriend who goes to the same school, but only Emma is kind of taking the flack right now. But I think in the musical, that song about her saying she has got to get straight A's and her mum puts an awful lot of pressure on her, it comes a wee bit too late for me in the musical. But in the film it's a wee bit earlier, and I can understand then why she's almost letting her girlfriend take all the blame. Fair. You know, and like all this. It's because it's not nice what's happening to her. And poor Emma's parents not ran away, have disowned her, you know, because of this. So, that's just a little...
One of the biggest things I learnt from the prom was my brand new obsessions with two actual Broadway performers. Who played the original Dee Dee and the original Barry. And I don't know how, but they had totally slipped through the net for me until I listened to the original musical cast recording of the prom. And that's Beth Leavel, or Leavel, Leavel. She won a Tony Award for Here We Go Again, The Drowsy Chaperone. She's been in Elf the Musical, Young Frankenstein, and right bang up to date, she has just opened in Broadway in Stephen Sondheim's Old Friends alongside Bernadette Peters and Lea Salonga.
Yeah.
And that's at this like the Stephen Sondheim staged concert or like collaborate or collection, I suppose, that opened in the West End.
That's
was it
right,
last year and
like
is now made its Broadway.
She also did Dorothy Brock for 42nd Street.
Oh yeah, she did brilliant Dorothy Brock.
She was Tess in Crazy for You.
Yeah.
And what else did I think that she was great in? Oh, she played Donna in The Winter Gardens, Mamma Mia.
Right. Okay.
So
but she's like so amazing.
Yeah.
And then Barry, who was played by, now forgive me because I'm still trying to work out how to say this guy's surname. It's Brooks Ashmanskas.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Ashmanskas, yeah.
And he was in Songs for a New World, The Producers, which he would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Martin Short, The Fame Becomes Me, which he was Tony nominated for. I've never heard of that musical before.
No.
Promises, Bullets Over Broadway, which I love the soundtrack to. And our fave, Something Rotten.
Something Rotten, yeah.
And but those two play those parts so brilliantly. So, controversial maybe, I adore Meryl Streep very much and I love everything that she does. And I thought she was good in The Prom, the movie. But why did they not just cast the original four Broadway stars that were in the original production in the movie? It didn't need these big names. James Corden destroyed that movie, in my opinion, by playing Barry. Brooks would have been just
especially
amazing.
Because the musical was on Broadway in 2018 and Prom the film was 2020. That is 2 years.
Yeah, 1,000%.
2 years. There is not some, like it wasn't like it was 10 years and there was going to be a massive difference in the characters or something like that. That they should have played it. They should have, and I know that is a major flaw with the film.
I think so.
Because whenever you do look, like I think they did a performance, was it for the Tony Awards or something? There's a couple of performances on YouTube, and you're just like, they were great. And when you listen to the cast recording, they're amazing.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Obviously they originated the roles, but it doesn't matter. They were perfect. Whereas I think the likes of Corden, like overplayed it.
Yeah. And
there wasn't a like, although they're playing these big and over the top characters, there has to be a truthfulness to it. Like, you have to truly believe Dee Dee is as warped as she is, and thinking like she's going to be like she's going to get such amazing press for like going and doing this for this girl, Especially whenever,
the parts of Emma and Alyssa were played by members of the LGBTQ plus, but then
community.
Barry wasn't.
Yeah.
So there was a big deal made that they were from that community.
Yeah, I think they just thought big names will sell this on Netflix.
And I think that was difficult.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I always have this like love-hate sort of, whenever I'm like, oh, I don't agree with that decision. But I'm like, but then a lot of people have come to musical theatre then because they've fallen in love with Prom on Netflix. And then that's maybe opened other doors of new musicals. So it was a good way of introducing musicals to people.
And and it's not one of those like movie musicals where I'm going, oh, that was a travesty.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like put it in the bin like Cats.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I would mention it.
Yeah.
If we were talking about movie musicals, I would mention The Prom because I think the musical's brilliant. The music's fab. And it wasn't terrible.
No.
Nor was James Corden terrible, but he just was
wasn't a great choice.
Just not right.
Yeah, just wasn't a great choice.
But those two, Beth Leavell and Brooks Ashmanskas, like, I was like, how have they slipped through the net? Because it's not like as if they're new talent. Like, they've been about.
Yeah,
and then you go back and you listen to other cast recordings like Drowsy Chaperone and go, there she is.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's her voice.
Yeah.
And then, brilliant.
Yeah, love it.
Love
I
him.
did think
And
that
live
I love
her.
the character of the teacher. I love
Yeah.
how the head teacher. I love how supportive he is. I also love how it is a different, not your typical musical theatre lover. He loves musicals, you know. And I love that. But I also love that he actually,
Calls them out in their nonsense.
completely calls them out, helps and supports Emma as any good teacher or good citizen should do, but also makes Dee Dee a better person.
Yeah.
You know, I love
Yeah.
that. And I did think in the film, Keegan-Michael Key played that really well.
Very
but
much.
he is a musical theatre fan.
Yeah.
He's in Schmigadoon.
Yeah, we know.
Which is doing really well in Washington.
Well, yeah.
But yes, well, I liked that, and I thought that him and Meryl Streep worked well together. Actually,
Like, as I said, I thought, I think anything that Meryl Streep does is real. Like, she was great. She was a great Dee Dee, but I just love Beth more. And her number's my stand ovation. I love the ladies improving, so give up hope. It's when she leaves and slams the door behind. She's amazing.
Yeah. No,
I love
great.
Barry is going to prom because
That
it's
is
really
my standing
cute.
ovation. I love Barry's going to prom because it's adorable.
It's so adorable. I want to play Barry.
Oh, I could 100% see you playing Barry.
Could you?
Yeah.
Like, so
Alison
I'm
as Dee
thinking,
Dee and you as
so
Barry.
I'm thinking, like, if someone can give it, like, give me 5 years? Come back to me in 5 years' time. I think I'm at the right age to play Barry.
Okay.
And I think a role like that would entice me back on the stage.
Do you think?
I would, if somebody knocked on my door, like, who's going to knock on my door, Lauren? But if somebody was to, like, in a fantasy world, knock the door and go, we're doing a production of Prom, we want you to play Barry. Are you interested? I would seriously have to consider it.
I love this.
Yeah, I
Let's
would
make it
honestly do it.
Let's put it
No,
in
I
the
wouldn't
diary.
honestly do it. I'd honestly consider it.
Honestly consider
And then probably freak out and go, no, I couldn't possibly, like, do a proper Barry. I couldn't possibly, no.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'll
like
do it.
a Barry 100% is a role that I could see you doing. And probably actually when I was watching James Corden do it, I was like, Timothy would be better.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, that would be great.
And then I've got big love for Unruly Heart, and I love how they did that in the movie.
Yes, it's great. It's great.
Really
It's very modern.
beautiful.
But yeah, it's,
but what
it's
a big,
lovely,
lush chorus. It just gives you the feels, doesn't
it's
it?
lovely. It is lovely. Because I think as well, the way the musical is set up, you think that everything is going to be resolved and solved by the prom. Oh, she's getting to go to prom and whatever. And then you realise that no. And she then needs to take back ownership of her story.
Yeah.
Which she does.
Yeah.
And,
beautifully.
And then it all
and then
works
you've got
out
that
lovely in the
brilliant
end.
big dance routine at the very end of the show.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
And
build a prom for everyone. Show the world it can be done. Da-da-ba-da.
I think I'd like to dance of some of those numbers. It would get you going again.
As I said, I would love to, if it had been 10 years ago, choreograph a production of it. I would think I would have great fun, especially that last number.
Yeah.
Too old now. The limbs don't move and bend as much as you would need to for that big prom number.
Yeah. Sure, choreographing, you just shout things at people. You don't actually have to
Not me. I can't sit still.
Really
It
joking.
kills me.
Only one, yeah.
Absolutely kills me.
That
was really fun.
It was
and
a
a
fun
really
one.
nice reason for doing it.
I
Of
know.
our prom anniversary.
Yeah, and I promise everybody we will
years.
share photos of us.
Honestly, I can't even imagine what photographs you have.
I have good photos.
Yeah, right.
Just have it standing
us
right
at
there in that
prom.
corner. No, I'll not show like actual because I don't think I have very many of them. It
You
was
just
like
have us with our champers here.
digital camera. Do you know what I mean? I'm
That's
not too
true, because
sure.
we're so old that we didn't
I
have
might
mobile
have
phones.
some of the after party, but I don't think that was.
Don't show the after
No, that's what I mean. I don't think we'll just focus on what we looked like before as we were getting onto the coach.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Because I had to go all the way to Ballina.
I think I wore black and white spats, didn't
You
I?
did.
Yeah.
See, it's slowly coming back.
Had style even back then.
You
Who
did.
wears black and white
then
spats
Molly
to prom?
was
Nope.
like coordinated with you.
Yeah, she was black and white polka dot.
Yeah.
She looked like
I know, it was
Molly looked
class. It was
amazing.
class.
And nobody was dressed like her there. Like, she was really class.
I know, it's
But
cool.
she
My
is
made
class.
my dress.
Yeah, yours dress. You
My
were
dress
green,
is
weren't
from
you?
all green, and it was
Beautiful.
the material from the Strictly people. It was all
Aw.
exciting. But yeah,
Gorgeous.
loved it. So yeah, that
What
was
would
a nice.
Patty have done? What would she have gone to prom? What would she have worn?
Oh, a hat.
Patty would do a good DD.
Yeah.
Days improving. So don't give up.
I think your Patty's even better than your Cher.
Do you reckon? Haven't done Cher in a long time.
Like 2 weeks.
Cher
Oh.
wouldn't give a do. That's bloody awful. Do you want to? Shall we do her? What would a Patty do
Yes, what would Patty
to
do?
round us off? You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Would Patty rather have an awkward mid-performance sneeze,
Oh,
or, like Kristen Chenoweth in Wicked, accidentally snort during a song?
sneeze.
You'd be okay with an awkward sneeze,
Yeah.
even if it was really awkward, like in,
Yeah.
like say, Unruly Heart, like a really slow, like
Yeah.
melody. Then all of a sudden, just go.
Yeah, because I feel like
so awkward.
no, but I feel like you could like embed that in your character while a
You
snort.
could embed a sneeze in your character.
Because you could just go.
Oh yeah. To be fair, because you've got a weird ass sneeze.
Excuse me.
You do. You've got like a wee. That's how you sneeze. Actually,
That's
your
whatever.
sneeze isn't so non-significant. Like everybody wants to sneeze like yours. You just turn your head to the side and go, and that's you done. Whereas everybody else just goes, and you're like literally the fastest non-sneeze sneezer in the world.
I'm really good at holding in, like as in making sneezes quiet. While my
Unbelievable.
husband, on the other hand,
Is he a big?
like, and they're like 3 in a row, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no need. There is no need for your sneeze to be that loud.
And then I'm weird because I sneeze and then I can't help it. It just is an after effect. I go,
I know.
but I just can't. Like I go, like absolute weirdo.
So your tick.
It is like my tick. It's so, but it's really weird. And every so often I'll do it in class when I sneeze, and they all start laughing, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at? It's my sneeze." Stop discriminating against your teacher because he sneezes in a weird way.
But there's nothing like children calling you out for the weird things you do. I have like a tick, like a shiver thing that I do, which I don't. Well, I knew I did, but I didn't realize it was as obvious.
Yeah.
But my kids are now starting to go, don't you just hate when you're sitting beside mummy? And she just goes, "Argh."
Rude. Give me a break.
Anyway.
Funny. There we go. None as queer as folk, eh?
Absolutely.
That was a really lovely.
It was cute.
And you know what? When you need to feel really uplifted, you listen to the Prom. Like the
Yeah.
music is really
And it
uplifting and
gets-
fun and good. It's an earworm, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets stuck in there, which is nice. So you're kind of
Amazing.
feeling upbeat for a while.
Well, next week
Yep.
is a scary week for me because it's production week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have that, and we're gonna have a wee special guest to the pod
Yeah.
all in the 1 week.
We are.
What am I thinking?
What are you thinking?
I think I might have to have a lie down after, to be honest. Like I might need to go into hiding
It's
for a month.
all exciting, and you will remember it for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life. I hope for good reasons.
Yeah, you will. 100%.
Well, we'll see you next week
Absolutely.
with our special guest.
Yeah.
Until then,
Bye.
bye.
Tune in as the memories grow.